ఓకేనండి. ఓకే.
Sir, good morning. Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Secretary of the branch, C.A. Anirban Palgaru, respected learned speaker, our own member from our branch, C. Vinay Gandhi Garu, past chairman, senior members, and other dignitaries, welcome to this session on e-invoicing related issues under GST. A grand welcome and good evening to all of you. Because as you all know that e-invoice is started commencing from the 1st October 2020. However, this you know the entire subject because an electronic invoice is an invoice that is issued, transmitted, received, processed and stored electronically using specific document in a specific formats. E-invoices are digital throughout the entire document life cycle. The issuance of to achieving. The Goods and Service Tax Network has issued an advisory on the auto-population of e-invoice details into GSTR1. As per the advisory, the generation of e-invoices is mandatory for a certain class of taxpayers as notified by the government. These taxpayers are required to prepare and issue their e-invoices along with this e-way bill by reporting their invoices data in the prescribed format, invoice scheme in the form of GST invoice 01 and reporting the same on the invoice registration portal. So the invoice is reported successfully on the invoice registration portal or given a unique invoice reference number which contains a 64 digits number. After issuance, the e-invoices could be cancelled on the IRP within a specified period after the generation of the e-invoice. The documents, invoices, debit notes, credit notes reported on the IRP are transmitted electronically to the GST system 2 days after generation and are auto-populated in the respective tables of the GSTR1 of the such taxpayers. These auto-populated documents appear as saved records in GSTR1 of the taxpayers with the source of the document mentioned e-invoice and IR number details also mentioned against each record. According to the advisory, the tax period of GSTR1 in which the invoice will be auto-populated will be as per the document date, irrespective of the date on which the document of invoice or debit note, credit note was reported in the IRP and the IRN was generated as date of generation. If the taxpayers reported the document on the IRP after filing the GST1 for that period, then the e-invoice will not be auto-populated if any subsequent GST1. The Excel file containing the e-invoice details can still be downloaded from GST1 dashboard for the tax period to which the document pertains to it. So with these few lines on the subject, because our resource persons explains in details and deliberate excellently in a understanding manner and we will get the good knowledge on this invoicing on this subject. So today we have with us C.A. Vinay Gandhi Garu as a resource person with us. Before giving to this resource persons today, I request Andvar Sridhar Garu to just introduce our resource person to the August gathering.
Good evening, members. It's my privilege to introduce our own CA Vinay Gandhi Billapati to the members. CA Vinay Gandhi, he is being working as a partner with Messrs. Billapati and Co. Anakapalli, Visakhapatnam, and eventually along with his father, CA Chidambaram Billapati. He served as trainee at Hiragange and Associates, Hyderabad. He served as assistant manager, Deloitte Haskins and Sells, Hyderabad. Educational qualifications. He was graduated in Commerce Honors from Usmania University, qualified as Chartered Accountant in the year 2010 at the young age of 22, CISA Certified Professional by Visakhapatnam, USA, Diploma in ISA visa from ICAI, in final stage of CPE Australia. He has also completed various courses offered by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, namely GST, Indirect Taxes, IFRS, Concurrent Audit in Banks, Forensic Accounting and Fraud Prevention, Drafting of Appeals, Forex and Treasury Management, Public Finance and Government Accounting, and IND-AS. Other experience. He is a trained faculty on GST by Indirect Taxes Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He has contributed various articles on service tax and GST published by Taxman Publications, Tax Publishers, Tax Guru, and Tax Management India. He had presented various papers and regular speaker at seminars organized by the Visakhapatnam branch of SIRC of ICAI, Guntur branch of SIRC of ICAI, Kakinada branch of SIRC of ICAI, Rajamahendravaram branch of SIRC of ICAI, and Mongol branch of SIRC of ICAI. He is a resource person at around 75 plus seminars on GST at various places across Andhra and Telangana. With these few words, I introduce CA Vinay Gandhi to the August Gathering. Thank you, sir. Over to the chairman.
Thank you, Sridhar Garu. Now I request our resource persons, Vinay Gandhi Garu, to take up this session.
Good evening, everyone. And firstly, I wish to congratulate Vasudev Muthu Garu for elevating as the chairman of Visakhapatnam branch of SIRC. And I also congratulate all the managing committee members also. And before going to the core topic of e-invoice under GST, actually e-invoice is nothing new as far as GST is concerned, because it's already been implemented 1.5 years back. But today, again, why we are speaking is because of the recent notification number 1/22, which made almost aggregate turnover of 20 crores. Means whoever is a taxpayer whose turnover during any of the financial year from 17-18 to 2021 or 21-22. If it exceeds 20 crores, e-invoice is made mandatory. So that's the reason why we are actually again speaking of, because it brings many of the taxpayers into the fold. So that's the reason why we are discussing on the e-invoice. So I'll share my presentation. So are you able to see it?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I wanted to go in this manner. Generally, what is e-invoice? What are the features, process? What means who have to mandatorily generate an invoice, and what are the advantages and what are the challenges also. So e-invoice, is it different from a digital invoice, or what is e-invoice? Means what speciality is e-invoice? Because generally now majority of the businesses are generating invoices in digital format only. Either they are giving a printout of the thing which is there from their accounting software, or there are separate billing softwares for each of the different types of businesses. So what is this e-invoice and what is that digital invoice? Actually, I wanted to clarify that digital invoice and e-invoice are different. As the Chairman Garu said in the opening remarks, e-invoice is actually what I wanted to say is e-invoice is it is not like substitute for our present invoice system. We'll see what is actually the invoice and what are the statutory provisions, means what is making the e-invoice important. As per Rule 48.5, if any invoice issued by a notified person should be means it should be an e-invoice, and any other manner other than 48.4, it is not an invoice at all, because invoice is one of the important document in GST for even for the supplier and also the recipient, because recipient should have the invoice with him, or he has to receive the invoice, or invoice is the basic document on which he can claim input tax credit. So if it is not, means if there is a specified person, a notified person, as I said, almost from 1st April 22, it will be the turnover of 20 crores. If that is the notified persons, if he gives an invoice other than e-invoice, it is not an invoice at all. So that's why it should have, the e-invoice should have IRN, invoice reference number. What is this IRN is already explained in the opening box. It is a 64-digit code. Actually, simply speaking, e-invoice is almost, I am reporting my invoice online or in the e-invoice system, and I am recording that invoice, that I am issuing my invoice to so-and-so person for so-and-so goods, and this is the tax I'm charging to him. Almost like live, means I have to generate an invoice, because unless I generate an IRN, it is not an invoice at all. So if I'm going to issue an invoice to any person now, it should be containing the IRN. So this is how actually that is introduced long back in 2019. 35th GST Council meeting actually talked of introduction of invoices, and there is a subcommittee which is formed, and 37th GST Council meeting has made almost they have accepted the subcommittee or subgroup discussions, and they have introduced this 48.4, 5 and 6 rules to make an invoice. And also on the same day, they have made even 10 portals as a portal for e-invoice. And also initially the e-invoice has to be applicable from 1/4/2020 for registered persons whose aggregate turnover in a financial year is more than 100 crores. But again, as we all know, due to the pandemic and due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the month of March 2020, they have postponed it to the month of October 2020. And again, during that, again, see, everything in GST is almost like it is a complete package. And again, they're giving exemptions. They're giving some of the other concessions in the implementation. The same thing happened in case of invoice also. Again, they said, no, okay, from 1st of October is fine, but these people, insurance companies, banking companies, financial institutions, GTA, passenger transportation service, cinema halls, these people need not give e-invoice. Again, there are some concessions to them. Actually, proper invoice format also, these people have the concessions. So they have given that e-invoice is not mandatory to all these people. Again, after some days, again in July 2020, they have excluded SEZ units. SEZ units need not issue invoice, and the limit of 100 crores has been increased to 500 crores. So almost means the number of people who are mandatory to generate invoice has been reduced from 100 to 500 crores. And again, till then, the wording, as I said, it is whose annual turnover, aggregate turnover in a financial year is greater than 100. They have made it with not as a financial year, but any preceding financial year from 17-18 onwards. So for example, if my turnover in 17-18 is 110 crore, or let's take an example of initial only, if it is 510 crores, and 18-19, when I am talking, it is not 510, but it is 490. And again in 19-20, my turnover exceeded, or let's say it has become 440. Even then, on 1st of October 2020, I have to check my turnovers from 17-18 onwards. So almost my turnover in 17-18 is 510, right? So I have exceeded, though my turnover in the current financial year or the previous financial year is less than 500 crores, I have to maintain or I have to implement e-invoice system. So that is how this wording, any preceding financial year from 17-18 onwards has been substituted. And then on the same day, on the day just before the implementation of that, they said even for e-way bill, means along with the e-way bill, I have to take some documents. For that, they said if the invoice has an IRN and also a QR code, then I need not take a physical invoice. Means along with the goods, physical invoice is not required. That is what they have given an exemption. And on 10th of, again, on 1st of October, they have implemented. Again, there are some technical glitches while the implementation. So from 1st of October to 31st of October, what is the process? There is a separate notification even for them because they could not generate an e-invoice on that during that period properly. Means there are some technical glitches. So again, they have given some notification, means what is a procedure to be followed. And then on 10th of November 2020, they have made this 500 crores as 100 crores and to be implemented from 1st of January 2021. So almost from 1st of January 2021, whose aggregate turnover during the financial years preceding financial year from 17-18, whose turnover exceeds 100 crores have to issue an e-invoice. And then on 8th of March, again, they're going to almost like from 1st of October till date, it's almost one year, 3 months or 4 months, or 1 year, 6 months almost. And they have made that 500 crores to almost firstly 100 crores, next 50 crores, now 120 crores. So from 1st of April 2022, whose aggregate turnover during any of the financial year from 17-18 onwards exceeds 20 crores, they have to issue an e-invoice. Because this is very, very important, because unless if my turnover during, say, many people may say that 2021 during, since it is Corona or COVID-19 issue, lockdown period and all, the turnover is less. But I have to check from 17-18, 18-19 also. If my turnover is more than 20 crores and now the businesses are again being normalized. So if the turnover exceeds 20 crores in any of these 5 years, 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, 20-21 and 21-22, any of these 5 years, if it exceeds 20 crores, I have to compulsorily start issuing e-invoice from 1st of April 2022. So that is what we are saying. What is e-invoice? This is a definition, or almost like this is a simple understanding. And actually now e-invoice is mandatory only for B2B invoices, not for B2C. And even though if I want to voluntarily comply with the invoice also, it is not accepting. And even because unless my turnover is greater than 20 crores in any of the financial years, only then I can do it. I cannot do it voluntarily. If I want to do it voluntarily also, the system is not allowing as of now. And to all the B2B invoices, this should be there, the IRN should be there, and the QR code also, which is generated by the invoice system, should have been mentioned or should have been printed on the invoice at any place. It need not be a big QR code or small QR code, whatever the size may be. It should be in a readable format, and it should be on the invoice. It has to be present. And that's what I said. It is not like I'm going to generate an invoice online. I need not generate an invoice online, or I need not issue only a digital invoice, but it is an reporting of what I have to do. Means many retail stores even now follow a manual billing. So if I am into a manual billing, even then it will be an invoice if I give the details of the invoice in the invoice portal, and then that is being reported. Means there will be an IRN generated and QR code if these two are there on that. Because QR code, again, almost I cannot give on a separate paper. Actually now I have to. It is better if I shift to actually digital billing or e-billing, or billing through accounting software or billing softwares. Otherwise, it will be a tedious task every time. And now almost like this is now making me change my business model also. And this IRN, as already intimated this is a 64 character invoice reference number, which is being generated by the system. And it is also actually a readable format. It will be means for all the B2B invoices, B2B credit notes, B2B debit notes, I have to give an IRN on it. And also a QR code should be there on that. As of now, that's what I said, there are only 5 supply types or 6 supply types for which it is applicable. It is B2B, it is SCZ, WP with payment, without payment, export with payment, export without payment, and deemed export. In all these cases, if it is a B2B transaction, I have to generate an invoice reference number or e-invoice in general. And talking about e-invoice, if I say means features are like, that's what I said, it is for only for B2B and export invoices. And it is like almost I am digitally signing the invoice, and also a QR code is being generated, which can be verified. That QR code can be verified, means it has all the details of the invoice, goods, supplier, buyer, from where it is going and all, because that QR code is an offline reading, means it can be read even offline. It need not be online only. It can be read even offline through QR code scanner. And this is, this digital signing means I need not fix my digital signature or a token and using a digital signature, nothing. The invoice details which I am giving on the e-invoice portal, it is automatically creating an invoice reference number, and that is what they're talking of digitally signing the invoice. And seamless integration, that's what, because now they're making all the 3 GST, because till now GST portal, returns, registration, refunds and all are in one portal. E-Waybill is in a different portal, and e-invoice is again in a different portal. But the integration between these 3 portals are happening, and even in GSTR 1 and all, even from the e-Waybill also I can download all the data. Means there are some, again, technical glitches while I'm downloading the data from e-Waybills and all. But however, the integration is already there between e-Waybill and GST portal, and invoice and e-invoice and the GST portal also. And so when I issue or when I generate an invoice, automatically the data will be shared with e-Waybill system also. And if I go and enter my IRN there, I can only enter the part B, that is the transportation or the vehicle details are the only thing I have to enter while generating a e-Waybill. And various modes of generation. Now we have either I have generated invoice, I can go to the e-invoice portal and then I can enter all the details and then I can generate IRN, or an API, means generally Tally and all will have Tally, or any accounting software, SAP and all will have an integration with that portal, so that I can, once I generate an invoice there, it will be automatically, means there will be an option that it can be automatically added or uploaded in the invoice portal, and then IRN can be generated. And also they have given an offline tools or bulk upload options where a JSON file is created, means they have given an Excel utility and I have to give all the details of my invoices of that when I'm issuing that. And then I can bulkly upload there, and I can, it will be it will be verified digitally, and IRNs are generated for that. So any mode I can use. And these all means, even again, bulk printing of invoice, MIS reports, even the reports also. That's what, even what will happen with the invoice, means why invoice and all. Now I cannot, or if I want to modify anything in the invoice, I cannot modify it. I cannot amend any invoice once generated. So any change, either I can cancel it, or I have to cancel that e-invoice, or I have to issue a credit note or debit note if the act allows me to do it. Otherwise, even if for a single invoice number, if I have already generated e-invoice and I wanted to change it, I cannot. And on the same invoice number, another IRN will not be generated. So I have to cancel that invoice, and then I have to again generate another invoice or one more invoice, and again I have to upload that invoice for creation of an IRN. So if an invoice number means invoice number is what I am in my accounting or in my regular business, I'm following that invoice number. If that on one invoice number, only one IRN can be generated. And there are also an offline utility called GEPP for bulk generation. And even the department and any of the other person, means if I am the recipient and I want to verify whether that person has genuinely given me an IRN, or whether the details, even before I receive the goods, or even if before I receive a copy of the invoice, if I know the IRN number, and then I can check my invoice online, means whether my GST number is correct or not, and all the details even I can verify. Even the department, while transportation, means while checking while the vehicle is being stopped and transported, or any other mode, it means whatever is the interest of the department also, even they can verify whether that IRN is genuine or not. So almost like fake invoicing, which has become biggest means it is almost like very few people are going to that, but in a very big amounts, or quantification is very high. So to reduce that also, these invoices, means fake invoicing also will be curbed with this e-invoice. And as we are receiving already for the e-way bill SMS statistics, means these are the total e-way bills generated by you, and these are the e-way bills generated by others on your number and all. In the same way, even for invoice also, the SMS statistics will come. Means these are the total number of invoices generated for you by you today and all. So even daily SMS statistics are also there. And this is how a normal pictorial representation of the process totally. Means there is a purchase order that has been made, and from the purchase order, delivery note is prepared. And from that delivery note, or even a normal whatever invoice system we follow, that invoice, and from there e-invoice, and e-invoice IRN will be generated. And from IRN, e-way bill might be, I said it is auto populated, so e-way bill is generated, and from there it will reach the supplier. So this is the overall view. I will not again explain what happens or whatever it is. This is almost what I have already explained, that from supplier to IRP to GST system and to buyers. So all this is automated. Once the supplier uses offline utility or whatever format API or whatever it is to generate an IRN, this is how the process works. And this applicability, as I said, October 20, the annual aggregate turnover of 500 crores. From January 21 or 1/1/21, 100 crores. From April 21, it is 50 crores. Now April 22, it is 20 crores. And all this I have to check in any of the financial year from 17-18. So now, if for all of our clients, we have to once again verify the turnover of all these 5 years, last 5 years turnover, and then decide whether e-invoice is applicable or not. And actually 2 days back or yesterday, already many clients have already received a mail saying e-invoice is applicable to you, and you can generate an e-invoice like this, and so they have sent a mail also already. If any of our clients did not receive and all, we have to educate them, and also we can means if it is not automatically made applicable, again I can go to e-invoice portal and again I can make there applicable. Means if it is more than 20 crores, again it will check my GST turnover or turnover from the GST portal, and if my turnover in any of the financial year exceed 20 crores, it will automatically activate my e-invoice also. As I said, voluntarily is not allowed. So that's the reason why this also has to be checked. And the registration again is separate. Means it's not like a separate registration, but it is like again I have to register like Waybill, how I'm going to register using my GSTN, and again I have to give a CAPTCHA, and then I will receive an OTP to the mobile number registered in GST portal, and again then I have to create a username and password. So again, if e-way bill is also applicable, again for GST portal, one username password, For Waybill portal, one username password, and again e-invoice portal, one username and password will be there. So talking of advantages, actually this is making me means this is like I am the only person speaking. So I want others also to answer at least in the chat box whether are you feeling it advantageous or again it is like a burdensome procedure. Is this advantageous? Is the e-invoice advantage or means I can say means what are your
it is advantageous. It will curb the fake invoicing and malpractices, and it may be disadvantage from the point of view the cost on the business people. Those who volumes may be high, but to generate e-invoice they have to employ skilled accounting professionals. To the action, we will be happy, but the cost from the point of view of the business people, they may resist.
Yes, actually, this will be an difficult thing if it is means, for example, if it is a retail trade, and there will be a heavy rush for them also to means for billing and all, and if their turnover is if it is more than 20 crores and all, it will be some. As I am receiving some messages also like it is advantageous, it is more transparent, and also means costly affair. Yes, if it is means more, if it is not a sir, even Waybill, has it made anything costly for the business person? Because Waybill also is like almost on now whatever is happening here, even the Waybill also the same thing. But there is nothing, I mean, there is no new cost that is incurred, what I feel. Actually, even the paperwork will be less. Now I need not print an invoice, or I can give that invoice with the IRN and a QR code in a PDF format. I can share with the client, because I have seen some of the retail chains are started issuing invoices. If it is B2C with a QR code, if it is B2B, they are giving us a SMS directly, not a physical form, not a physical paper. So advantages, if I go, it is almost like this is actually happening that all the invoices are being uploaded or downloaded or being appearing in the GST portal automatically in the real time. So even Waybill and GST returns, GSTR1, if my turnover is more than 20 crores and all my invoices are B2B, my GSTR is ready on 30th or on the last day of the day, or the last day of the first day of the month at least, because all my invoices are GE invoices and they are already appearing in my GSTR1. And again, this data reconciliation, yes, because mismatch errors will be reduced, because the person who receives that invoice can actually verify on a real-time basis whether my GST number is there or really there or not. Because if my GST number is there in that e-invoice, automatically it will automatically flow into the GSTR1 of my supplier, and then means I'm ensure that unless the person deletes all my invoices and again punches it afresh, otherwise my credit is also means my thing in GSTR2B will be there. And e-invoices, again, that's what I said, because one software and another software can read easily. So almost like, because I saw some means companies who are sharing their invoices or the statement instead of a physical statement, their invoices, their debit notes, credit notes, everything as a one file, which can be downloaded in the accounting package, and accounting package will be updated with all my purchases. I need not punch again whatever are the purchases. I have to just verify whether I have received the goods or not. Even that is already happening in many of the companies, big companies, and the stockists or super stockists. And real-time tracking, that's what I said, the supplier means it can be real-time tracking of invoices also can be done. And genuine input tax credit is faster availability, subject to many conditions, because that's what I said, He has, though it is appearing in his GSTR1 on that day, he has to file that GSTR1 and he has to pay the tax also. So, but genuine input tax credit or not, and whether my GST number is there or not, yes, I can easily identify, or I can easily verify even before the end of the month. And lesser possible, this I doubt, but this is one of the advantages given by the department. They said lesser possibility of audits or surveys by tax authorities, since the transaction level data is available with them. I don't know how far this will be implemented. Again, this from now, these are the advantages from the department point of view. They said single source of truth for fiscal purposes. So they said, means they are relying that much on the e-invoice portal that this is a genuine thing that is going to happen. And compliance becomes, this they wanted to make it. Actually, by the Finance Act 2022 itself, by introduction of this from 1st January 2022, they have made the mandatory 16(2) AA of the CGST Act and all. Now, GST Act is almost like they don't want the complaints. They want due date compliance. They want timely compliances. So now they are already making that complaints to be part of the business process, blood of the business. And now they wanted due date compliance also, so that now actually one day if I make a GSTR1 late, means if I file my GSTR1 on 12th of the next month, means the business people are ready to receive hundreds of calls if the businesses, means if the invoices are more for a month. So they're already receiving that. And now the due date compliance is almost we are getting used to it, because already 2 months since the implementation of that, and many have already started taking only input tax credit, which is there in GSTR 2B. And so even invoice financing, even the banks can start doing this invoice financing also, because they need not wait till the GST return is filed or tax is paid, or I share them with I share GSTR 1 or 3B with them. Even the invoice wise detail will be available with them, and invoice financing also can be done. And these fraudulent practices, as I said, this is becoming more transparent. And the ones I generate an invoice today, even the department knows, okay, this person's turnover today is this. And department need not ask me any details also, because all other invoices which I give without IRN are fake invoices or not invoices at all. So if they find anything there, it will be a fraudulent practice. And better internal controls, yes, for sure. As a chartered accountants, we accept that this will be a better internal control also, and enhances overall efficiency of business. And even ease of doing business also is possible, because as I said, all my purchase invoices are already being dumped into my accounting package. And also I am insured of the credit, at least means now, till my GSTR 1, unless he files his GSTR 1, I don't know whether my 2B will be updated or not. But once the invoice is generated, automatically it is at least with the status of filing no, it will be updated. And environment friendly, as I said, we need not print an invoice. I mean, you need not print also, as they have already given. If it contains a ARN and QR code, and that physical copy of the invoice also need not go along with the goods. Cancellation amendments, this once IRN or once e-invoice is generated, it can be cancelled, but within 24 hours only, within 24 hours of the generation only. And if the connected e-way bill is active or verified by the officer during the transit, it cannot be cancelled. And again, once cancelled, again in GSTR 1 also, it will be like cancelled GST, means cancelled IRN. And this also I've already said in the first slide itself, that for one invoice number, only one IRN can be generated. So if I say my invoice number is 1001 on 1st of April, and I generate an e-invoice, and there is some mistake, there is some clerical error, or when I am again sending the goods and all, I found there is some mistake or GST number is wrong, whatever it is, again the IRN can be cancelled because it means if it is within 24 hours. But on the same 1001 invoice number, I cannot generate another e-invoice. I have to again cancel the invoice completely. That 1001 will be cancelled invoice. And again, if I already generated 5, so it can be again 1007 invoice. So one invoice number, only one IRN. Amendments, no chance. Amendments cannot be made. And any changes that can be made means like any minor changes and all can be made for GST portal. Again, there should be a correct reason why why I'm going to change that whatever it might be, value or GST number or date or quantity, whatever it is. Again, means it will be a trigger point for the department to ask, why did you change? Authenticity and correctness, this can be verified from this link e-invoice1.gst.gov.in. This is the only link which is working as of now, though they are 10 notified, but e-invoice1.gst.gov.in is working, and there you can verify the signed invoice and also the QR code. They have given a separate app for that, for verification of QR code also. And now coming to, means till now I said yes, this is very means it is transparent, advantageous, it will be happy for the recipient and also for the supplier, environment friendly, everything fine. But the main problem which we are facing since the inception of GST, since the 1st of July 2017, that whether means the biggest question everyone will have, even while filing GSTR 1 or 3B or whatever, GSTR 9, 9C, whatever it is, will the portal work? That's the biggest question everyone will have. So that technical challenge, yes, is there. Now I want to generate an invoice, but will that portal work? Again, a big question. And again, though I input a data, will it come or will it take it correctly? Because during means generally 11th of the month or 19th and 20th of the month, now it has almost improved so much, but we used to face many errors, like everything is uploaded, everything is saved, but again, when I file the return and see my return, it is a blank return. There are some cases like that. And there are some cases where I enter one data and I can see another data in that. So it means there are some technical glitches in the portal and all. So the same thing might happen in the e-invoice. And initially when Waybill and the GST-1 is being integrated, even then we have the same problem. If I download all my e-invoice or e-way bills and into the GSTR1, sometimes the data used to be wrong, or half data used to be downloaded and half not downloaded. So those things are already there. And so technical errors is always there, and clerical errors. As we know, error is human. Which means if I do a wrong data, or if I enter a wrong data in the portal, or if the accountant or the person who is generating the invoice has done some clerical mistake in that, as I said, IRN cannot be amended or e-invoice cannot be amended. Even before generation of e-invoice, anything can be changed, or before my uploading, I can change if I come to know any error. But once invoice or IRN is generated, I have to cancel it. And again, I have to generate one more invoice and IRN. So that will make, that will increase my actually time of issuing of invoice. So even clerical error is again a challenge. So as Sridhar Garu also pointed out, that it will be like now I have to be more vigilant while issuing an invoice, or while delegating that work to my person or my assistant. So clerical errors are also is a big challenge. And this is not a replacement of the physical invoice. That means if I issue an physical invoice, I said QR code has to be there on that. So I don't know if the QR code has to be there on the invoice, it cannot be a physical invoice. I have to, and again, they have mentioned specifically that that QR code should be there on the invoice. It cannot be on a separate piece of paper. So it should be on the invoice, and it should be readable with that reader, QR code reader or any app, but it cannot be like it cannot be on a separate piece of paper, and it need not be of a this means there is no standard dimensions that is presented, that is given. It is it anywhere, because some people are keeping it on the top right, top left, bottom left, anywhere you can keep that QR code, but it should be in a readable format and it should be present on the invoice. And also it is not a replacement to the waybill, even though the department knows means because invoice detail will have only the shipping billing address and the shipping address. If it is bill to ship to, again it will have bill to ship to and our address. But again, e-waybill is again a different concept of tracking the movement of goods. So, and the vehicle number will also not be there on the invoice and all. So again, this is not a replacement to the e-waybill, but along with the e-waybill, even the e-waybill also need not be in a physical format. That also can be on a, even the e-waybill number also will do. So waybill number will do, invoice number will do, or IRN will do. So along with the goods, I need not send any paper, means like invoice or waybill with them. If the driver or the person or in charge of the conveyance is a technical one. Now almost everyone is using the technical gadgets and they're doing it. So even this printing of paper will be reducing to a large extent. And road ahead, now 1st of October, 500 crores, 1st of January 2021, 100 crores, 1st of April 2021, 50 crores, 1st of April 22, 20 crores, and now they may do it in another 1 year to 5 crores also. So almost like means as of now, all the concessions, everything are for the people who are less than 5 crores, means 9 seasons are optional, 9 is optional for 1.5 crore and below. So all this, and now the e-invoice has become mandatory for 20, and then it may come down in the recent, means in the near future to 5 crores also. And also means that's what even they are also ready with the turnover phased rollout for invoice generation. And again, online form and mobile based form also means they're going to increase the modes of generation. As of now, it is offline tool, bulk upload, Excel utility, and also again, now they wanted to make it offline form and mobile based also, means on through mobile also I can generate an invoice. And again, advanced invoice analytics. Now again, you will now receive notices from the department again saying that your turnover is as per 3B is so and so, means your as per B2B. Now my B2B turnover and the invoice turnover has to match. It cannot be different. It has to match. So again, using that analytics means they may do a monthly analysis of our turnover, daily analysis of our turnover also is possible using invoices. And also our biggest purchaser means, because since his GST number is already shared in that invoice, so his purchase, I mean our biggest purchaser will be known. And if I go to a specific place, how I need not, means the department, the officer need not ask who are your major suppliers, who are your major clients and all. He will come with the data. Please give me the statement of this person. Please give me, or please show me what is the stock. Even stock now, even the department officer comes here and say, yeah, you should have this much stock, whether it is there or not. He will not ask you any stock record. He need not also. If it is this invoices and all, because he knows how much you have purchased and he knows how much you have sold item wise. So this item should be, means as on that date, this should be the, because daily basis. So this is the stock that should be there. And he can come and say, this is the stock that should be there, whether it is there or not. Means this is how I am seeing the department visits and department audits in the, at least not in the near future, because now it is being implemented to 20 crores and all. But for 500 crores, yes, because our depending on the cycle, depending on the inventory cycle, almost they can do this. This is how it will be done in the near future. And second invoice portal, that's what I said, out of total 10, only one is what is working. So now they wanted to increase the number of invoice portals also, so that the rush to the invoice means the portal will be balanced. And then improvements in validations and verifications of fraudulent invoices. Again, they are going to, means even they are learning. Almost we know, as on 1st of July 2017, we are the testers for the GST portal. We, the chartered accountants, are the testers. So we have given this is not working, this is working, this is not proper, this has to be added. Again, all that. So reset button, submit button, everything is an improvement. Everything is tested live by us. So the same thing, again, it's already tested because of the 500 crores, means already implemented. So almost that has been done. So they are going to again improve validations, means loopholes. Now the loopholes are being again brought to the notice of the department, and they are going to improve the e-invoice portal validations and all. And then phased rollout for B2C. Now, even for B2C invoice, again, they will say, already they have said QR code is mandatory for even on B2C invoices. They did not say e-invoice is mandatory, means IRN is not mandatory, but QR code is mandatory for B2C invoices also. So now they will say even IRN is mandatory. Again, they will start after this, as I said, after this 5 crores implementation, they will say for 500 crores, B2C also has to have ARN. Again, they will come down to 100, 50, 20, and 5. So even on B2C invoice, and then my GSTR1 is ready as on the date of the, as on end of the month. I have to only check, because now they will say even the Hsn summary also might be filled. Document summary is filled because they know what is invoice I've generated, cancelled, what is a debit note, credit note, all the details are there with them on a daily basis, on a live basis. So even my GSTR1 will be auto-filled, and from my GSTR1, GSTR3B will be auto-filled. Only thing the person has to do is, this is the tax you have to pay. Because even GSTR2B only, the invoices or the input which is there in GSTR2B is only allowed. So we are almost talking like, I'm not saying that our work will go, or all our work will reduce, but this is what I'm seeing in the incoming, at least, means not more than 5 years. Not more than 5 years, this will happen. And it will be like all my returns. I mean, that will be actually easy also, because my assessment also will be online already. All became faceless in income tax. So now my GST return, if the invoice is strictly implemented, as you know, now there are some concessions. Some people need not give, some people need not, means for B2C is not required and all. Once these all are implemented, yes, for sure, this is what is going to happen. My return is ready as on the 1st of the month. I need not wait till 11th also. On the 1st of the month, I can file my GSTR1, and then my due dates also might be reduced. I need not wait for 11th or 13th for generation of my 2B, because from first it is automatic. Because this actually I heard 2 years back in one of the residential conferences I visited. There, that person has showed us almost the future. Means what I am talking now, he showed us, when GST is a baby, means 1 year implemented, then itself he has showed us how it is going to happen. Means this is how the assessments and returns are going to be auto-populated, prepared, or ready for filing. So this is how, means this actually a small country has already implemented it, and they're ready for, means even for B2C, because for us B2C is now the problem, because B2B is already live data is available. The only problem is with B2C, right? So for B2C also, what that country has done is, if the B2C invoices are uploaded weekly, the recipient, means the B2C person, means same like our Aadhaar number or PAN number, something will be captured even on B2C. So that person will get a government lottery ticket. And if he will be eligible only if the supplier has uploaded the B2C transaction. So he will insist to me now, B2C people they don't require at all. They don't require an invoice or GST number mentioned on their invoice. But with GST invoice itself is not required for them because they will not take input tax credit of anything. But now what will happen if this is the government incentive they have given in that country, saying if your invoice is uploaded by your supplier, you will be eligible for a government lottery ticket. So all the B2C suppliers, once they will ignore for 1 week or 2 weeks. Once they're going to, once they hear that, once they publicized that this is the amount what that person got or what that person received, every B2C supplier or B2C recipient also will start insisting the supplier to upload. Means they will come and give, take my Aadhaar number, take my PAN number and upload. So that is what happened, and that is a success in that country. So now let's see what will happen in India also. So B2C invoices also, there is already a plan that it should also be, even the same e-invoice is what they wanted to make B2C invoice also to contain IRM. So that is what I can I'm not going into technicalities of how to generate or what is the API integration that has to be done. Because e-invoice is that e-invoice portal, and they are very user friendly and they're very easy to understand once we log in into the portal and all. So I'm not going to start that. So this is what is there in the e-invoice portal, invoice whatever I wanted to share today. So any questions are welcome.
Members, please unmute yourself and you can ask the questions or any clarifications you want to, you can seek clarification. Please do not hesitate to ask any type of questions. And GST, he is a master of GST.
I'm not master. I'll try to answer. I'll try to answer. Means not only related to e-invoice, but whatever it is, I'll try to answer.
And regarding the GST, whatever clarifications you want, that he will clarify. Please unmute yourself.
Because I am seeing many notices which are coming, which the clients are receiving regarding this is the interest regarding 2A and 2B and 3B data, and also way bills data. Way bill is not being generated, and many notices are being received, but many people are ignoring or not replying to those notices. Though it is not applicable, I could see some. Yes, because no one is asking the questions. చెప్పండి.
ఇప్పుడు పెట్రోల్ బంకులు తీసుకొని మోర్ దెన్ 20 crores ఉంటుంది టర్న్ ఓవర్. కాకపోతే ఇన్వాయిస్ దానికి లిమిట్ ఉన్నాయా? ఇన్వాయిస్ బిల్లు 5,000 వరకు ఇన్వాయిస్.
Actually, it has to be, if it is B2B invoice అయితేనే ఈ ఇన్వాయిస్ కావాలి. వాళ్ళకి B2B will be very few, because petrol bunk generally will be more to B2C.
అలా కాదు, సాధారణంగా కాంట్రాక్టర్స్ ఉంటారు, ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ కాంట్రాక్టర్స్ వాళ్ళకేమో లిమిట్ దాటుతారు కదా సాధారణంగా. వాళ్ళకేమో టర్న్ ఓవర్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అంటే ఈ పెట్రోల్ బంక్ డీజిల్ అదేను. అటువంటి కేసులో అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? పెట్రోల్ బంక్ కేసులో
పెట్రోల్ బంక్ అంటే మీరు అనేది పెట్రోల్ బంక్ వాళ్ళు కాంట్రాక్టర్ ఇచ్చే ఇన్వాయిసెస్,
కాంట్రాక్టర్ ఇచ్చేది.
దట్ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ IRN నౌ.
ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళేమో 10,000 కొట్టిస్తారు, 10,000 కొట్టిస్తారు, 2,000 కొట్టిస్తారు, 5,000 కొట్టిస్తారు, లారీలు పంపిస్తారు కదా. ఆ పంపించినప్పుడు IRN అంటే ఈ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఇవ్వడానికి అవ్వదు కదా.
అదే అంటున్నాను, ఇప్పుడు ఇవ్వాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్మోస్ట్ నాకు తెలిసి even the petrol companies will start ante vale because these are all almost outlets kada, so they will only give some solution to this. They will give some app or they will give some thing that avanni kuda dan మీద వస్తాయి automatic.
ఇన్వాయిస్ బిల్ అమౌంట్ కానీ లిమిటేషన్స్ ఉంటే 5,000 వరకు ఈ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఇవ్వట్లేదు అంటే ప్రాబ్లం ఉండదు. కానీ లారీలు వస్తాయి, వాళ్ళు లారీలు వస్తాయి.
అలా లిమిటేషన్ అయితే ఏం లేదు. ఫర్ ఆల్ B2B ఇన్వాయిసెస్ IRN ఉండాలి, ఈ ఇన్వాయిస్ ఇవ్వాలి.
Yeah, Gandhi, I have a question.
అలాగే బిల్డర్స్ కేసులో కూడా బిల్డర్స్ కూడా వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారంటే వాళ్ళు సిమెంట్ కొంటారు కదా వాళ్ళ దగ్గర. ఆ సిమెంట్ కొన్నప్పుడు కూడా వీళ్ళు టర్నర్ పెరుగుతుంది. వాళ్ళు టర్నర్ కంపెనీ స్థాయి టర్నర్ ఎలాగ పెరుగుతుంది, మరి వీళ్ళు తెప్పించినప్పుడు ఈ ఇన్వాయిస్ తెప్పించుకోవాలి కదా.
కాదు అంకుల్, ఇప్పుడు ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద సప్లయర్, if the cement supplier is his turnover is more than 20 crores, he will give an IRN to the contractor or the builder.
ఫ్యాక్టరీస్ ఎలాగూ ఇస్తాయి, ఈ పెట్రోల్ బంక్ కేసులోనే ఇబ్బంది అవుతుంది.
But they will
Hello.
Yes.
Gandhi, I have a question.
Yeah,
there is one entity is offering amusement facilities in the shopping mall.
Okay,
So they are following the practice of issuing a swiping card.
Okay.
Why? Because the card is being loaded, and they can go and attend any equipment which they wanted to play. In this scenario, is it mandatory to issue an invoice at the time of taking the money? Of course, this is not related to e-invoice.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, actually, when they are giving me money and they are the card is loaded with that amount. That's what you mean, right?
Yes, exactly.
And whenever what is the balance amount which is there, that will be refunded again while they are leaving the counter.
They can utilize it for the 1 year or 2 years also. There is no such a stringent policy. They can use it for a longer period because of to attract the people. They can come at any point of time. They can play freely. The management is following this kind of a practice.
Okay, if that is the case, if that is the case, if the invoice or if the amount which is it cannot be refundable or it will not be encashed, it cannot be encashed, it can be used only for thing, then I think it should be, the invoice has to be given on the receipt of money itself.
Okay, why? Because even it is below 500 also, even it is below 500, is it mandatory?
It is, I think it is 200, right? For
not 200 or 300, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is 200.
It is for supply of goods.
Yeah,
that is for goods, right?
Sir,
this is a service.
Please on your video, sir. Let me know.
Yeah.
Please.
This is a service I'm talking about.
Yes, actually speaking, I can once that cannot be refunded. It has to be used only for this. I think I have to give a invoice for that. Otherwise, I can give an advance receipt, and then whenever they are using it at the PlayStation or the whatever it is, and when that amount is being as a service, then I can issue an invoice. But here you are saying that can be used anytime.
It can be used anytime.
And whether if that can be used anytime, I could see that I have to issue an invoice at the time of receipt of money itself.
Yeah, why? Because
practical difficulty, that's all.
It is only practical people. GST authorities are making nonsense of it.
And that's all, because I can issue an advance receipt on the date of receipt of the amount. but for each usage, again, I have to issue an invoice for them. So this advance receipt, on the advance receipt, also I have to pay GST again, anyway on the date of receipt itself. So that receipt, again, whenever after 1 year, if he comes and uses it, and then again I have to map this advance receipt to that invoice.
Yeah,
that
just
again,
I would like to add to the previous guest. In the case of petrol bunk, we used to get petrol for 100 rupees or 50 rupees or 200. Nobody is going to issue an invoice for it.
Yes.
It is a practical difficulty. It is nobody is going. But even the GST people go to the even petrol bunker. Yes, you have to invoice issue. Do we have any relief or defense from the rules or act? Because we have a certain difficulty. Why? Because a person may come, I want to load only 50 rupees. It is a small entity.
Yes, but as there means if again I talk about petrol, if it is less than 200, he need not issue each invoice, and he can issue a single invoice for the whole thing. But otherwise, they have to issue an invoice. There is no specific exemption for petrol bunk or so.
Anybody, in case of any practical difficulties in issuing the invoices based on the nature of the business or industry where we located, can we defend it?
Means again, this will not be a legal issue which will be accepted in the department till the unless this difficulty is if it is as a bill, if it go to the High Court or something, there might be some relief, but otherwise, legally speaking, or as per GST Act, it has to be. But that can be made, a representation can be made by the petrol dealers to the GST Council. That can be done. At least because in many of the cases like cinema halls, in case of GTAs and all, they have given some concessions in the invoice, even for the passenger transportation.
This facility also comes under the amusement, entertainment only, no? Do we have any relaxation for cinema theaters?
No. Cinema halls have, it is specific to display of the cinematographic film. The wording there is again different. It is not applicable to all the services there. It is only to the cinema ticket, because in the ticket you will have only the name, taxable value and tax. It will not have the address and all. So they will have concession of the address.
Okay, in terms of
voice number, date, everything should be there. Concession is only for the address of the recipient, address of the person who is going to visit that. So there are concessions like that.
In my case, it is different. He may load the balance, but it is not sure the service will be completed then and there itself.
Yes.
In that case, the probable solution is only receipt.
Yes, that's what I said. I can give, if I take it as a 6 months or 1 year, and I have to pay tax on the date of receipt, I need not issue invoice then. I can issue an advance receipt, but again, I have to map it with that invoice. So whenever he uses it, I have to map it. So that tracking will be, again, that can be done using AI, that can be done using the computer system, but that can be done. That is nothing wrong in that.
No, it is only public entity. There is no business B2B concept here. My customer is only general public.
That will be again difficult. You have their unique thing is your card. You have some ID for that. You will have some card number or card ID for that. So
yes,
even for B2C also, I can do that. I can map it. But because department is getting the tax on the date of receipt, there is no issue. And the invoice, I need not generate. I can give a advance receipt, simple advance receipt. Again, if I give an invoice also, there will be no GST number. If I give advance receipt also, there is no GST number. They'll not take input. Everything is fine. So on the date of receipt of the amount, if I want to generate I can generate an advance receipt and give him. And then whenever he uses it, I have to raise an invoice. And this advance receipt and invoice has to be mapped.
Complaints is difficult.
Yeah, because if the number of cards which I'm issuing there are more, it will be very difficult if I go and sit and want to map everything. That will be difficult.
Yeah, thank you.
That every swipe, there should be an invoice raised. And that should be linked to the advance receipt.
Every usage, every size, every swipe, they load it. Every swipe means whenever they use it.
I mean to say every usage of at the station.
Exactly. Thank you.
There is one more question in the chat box. One company currently in the process of demerger. For financial year 2021, turnover is more than 20 crores, but after demerger, less than 20 crores for both. In this case, whether e-invoicing is applicable for resulting companies. Sir, in the case of demerger, almost a new company is being formed, or what is the actual thing that is going to happen? There are two separate companies, which has nothing to do with the original company, right? Iswar Garu.
Sorry, yes, sir. Only one company is there, sir. Two separate companies will be formed, sir.
So two separate legal entities and two separate PAN.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So again, I means if I see to that PAN, there is no turnover at all from 1718 to the formation.
Yes, sir. For the new company, yes.
E-invoice may not be applicable.
May not be. Thank you.
For the resulting companies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And means unless I get a question again, I'll start. But for all those notices which you are receiving, please answer to it. Either it is applicable, not applicable, and because I am seeing many notices, many notices like I've already filed my 3B, but I'm getting a notice that you have not filed it. Means I'm getting a GSTR 3A. So even to that, at least because actually speaking, it should be uploaded in the portal. Since it is not uploaded in the portal, at least to the mail you receive, you send that this is the ARN of my GSTR 3B, which is already filed. So please do that. Nothing, I mean, it will be like when I am questioned by the department, if I don't answer, again, they will say you did not cooperate in the proceedings, that's all. And that is already there. So you reply whatever is a factual position or once, though it is not applicable, say it is not applicable, but reply.
But sir, in e-invoicing, there are more than, I think, so many columns are there. More than 100 like that. 133 columns like that. Oh, but it is too much now, sir, number of columns. We have to...
Means whatever is there on the normal invoice, all that will be there. All that details will be there. So again, all are not mandatory columns there again.
Okay, out of that 133, 88 are mandatory.
So again, that detail is almost whatever are there on the present normal, whatever the invoices we are issuing, the same thing is there also. There is nothing new or extra there. So even Hsn code, again, I'm getting many questions on the Hsn, means normally not here, but Hsn means even now, actually now saying no one has an exemption of reporting of Hsn. Everyone has to mention the Hsn code, means in the returns and all, at least to the 2-digit level. To the turnovers more than a certain limit, it is 4-digit level. But no one has an exemption now. All those exemptions of not 1.5 crore, not required 1.5 to 5 crore, 2-digit, then 4-digit, all those have gone. Now everyone up to 5 crores have to give at least 2-digit. After that, it will be 4-digit. And almost because bigger entities are already used to that, and they are already giving the Hsn to the 8-digit level also. And there was one more question. Suppose one of the two companies carry the previous business and the second one is incorporated with a division business. In such case, how do you treat for applicability of ATO? So what I understood, the question, how I understood that, I will reply, please reply whether that understanding is correct or not. You mean to say there are two companies and one company is going to carry the business, means one company is going to continue, and the second company is going, means it will be another company is split and a new company is formed with a separate division. That's what you mean? Okay. Then the old company, means the previous business, what is being continued, it will be more than, if it is more than 20 crores, means for them that carryover will be applicable. For the new company, anyway, it will not be applicable. The only thing here for a single legal entity or that PAN or that GSTN, my turnover has to be verified for the last 5 years. Since here, the division business, which is going to be a new legal entity and a new PAN, it will not have any turnover in the last 5 years. So that for that invoice may not be applicable, but for the company which is continuing the previous business, e-invoice will be applicable. Thank you. And also one more, this appeals and all, whichever are missed to be filed from 21st of March 2020 to 28th of February, whose due date falls between 21st of March 2020 to 28th of February 2022. That can be filed now within 60 days, means from 60 days from 1st of March. So that according to that Supreme Court order, all the proceedings have already been, the due date of 28th February is done and there is no further extension as of now. So from 1st of March to within 60 days, all that please file. So if any appeal is missed to be filed from that day to this day, means any DRC 07 already passed and one have to challenge, please do that now. Because again, I don't know whether it will be extended or not. So please ensure that that has happened. And many DRC 07s, DRC 07, if it is DRC 07, it is actually being uploaded on the portal, but DRC 01, DRC 01As and all are not being uploaded. So please, we have to check the registered mail IDs in the GST portal, means whatever are the mail IDs there, please check that and then do it. And whoever have taken registrations almost within 2 years and all, so for them also the bank detail is not mandatory. So that bank detail also has to be given within 45 days from the date of registration. So even then, that also many have missed. Means, since there are no questions, I'm continuing whatever are the general errors that are cropping up. And many people have forgotten filing GSTR 10. I know many people, GSTR 10 is the final return, means that is once the GST registration is cancelled, approved by the officer, then I have to file a GSTR 10, the final return. And though I don't have any data, also I have to file GSTR 10. Many people I'm seeing now, they are means filing that GSTR 10 now with the late fee of 10,000 minimum. Means that is a maximum fees that is applicable, and for no reason, because GST is cancelled. There is no business for him. There is nothing to be done regarding the GST portal, but GSTR 10 is missed. He has to pay the 10,000 now. So because even I saw some of the cases where once the GST is cancelled and GST registration is cancelled, I got the order of cancellation of registration also, even then I could not file GSTR 10 on the date, or means there are many technical glitches, that is a nil return, actually speaking. Means if there is no ITC, there is nothing issues there, that is a nil thing. But I could not file it unless, means I have to go and try until I succeed actually. GSTR 10 is like that, but that GSTR 10 will cost the person who has cancelled his registration 10,000 if it is not filed. So we have to keep a track of that also, whether once I cancel the registration, whether GSTR 10 is filed or not. Because we all know that though the client doesn't bother of GSTR 10, but again, he will come to us and ask that you are the person who has cancelled the registration, you are the person you have to guide. So you have to, you missed it. So that should not be the case. So please ensure that whenever the GST registration is cancelled, file GST at 10.
Members, have you any questions? Not only on e-invoice or any question on GST.
Sir, Vinay Gandhi garu.
Sir, Sridhar garu cheppandi.
Ippudu some of the clients are inactive business. They don't have any business. Maybe some 2 years back, 3 years back, they have stopped doing the business and they have not filed the returns also. Still the GSTN is active. For some people, they are filing the nil returns. So motu the department has cancelled the GST return. Why it is so?
Actually, there is a rule, sir. The section itself. The section says if there is a nil return for the last 6 periods, department has every right to cancel the registration, but they cannot cancel it without giving a notice. They will give a notice. They will give a notice saying your 6 months is means you are filing nil returns for the last 6 months. So I want to cancel it. Means please show cause why I cannot cancel it. So then I have to again say that, means for example, if it is a seasonal business, I can say, sir, for the 6 months, I will not have any business. For the next 6 months, I will have a business. So I wanted to continue. They can agree. Means they have to agree. But if that notice is not replied, they're keeping it under suspension and they're canceling the registrations.
Actually, in my client's case, they have not given any notice despite they cancelled so much cancellation. Actually, he wanted to surrender the registration. Meanwhile, they cancelled, so we kept quiet.
But actually, without intimating us or without giving a notice, they will not cancel. Sir.
When we wanted to
have got some or other letter or notice in the mail.
Maybe I didn't check anyway. He wanted to.
Because there are many cases like that, because for GST portal, they are giving some other mail ID which they won't check at all.
Okay. But
so again, whenever the registration is being cancelled, then they are going to it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, one more client which he wanted, in 2019 May or June, he has cleared all the late fees, penalties and everything and made his GST active. Even after that, since then, he did not do any business, no returns are filed. It's more than 2 years now. But still the GST is active. They have not given any notice and it is not closed.
That is all depending on the jurisdiction office, that's all. Some jurisdiction offices are proactive and they're giving the notices for all the cancellations. Actually, what is happening here is every GST range is getting mails or are getting data in an Excel from the GST portal. GST portal is sharing data with them that these people are liable for cancellation, please issue notices. Some commissioners or some ACs are checking that and issuing notices. Some are not. That's the only thing that is happening.
So the client who has not filed the returns and it is active, now he wants to close. That means he has to pay all backlogs and then close, or he can apply for the cancellation.
No, I think system allows me to cancel the registration effective from that day.
I mean, we don't have to pay any late fees or penalty. Anything.
Yes, that's what I'll say, that I want to cancel my registration. Then means whenever that is my last return, date of last return.
Okay.
Since then I want to cancel. I mean, I don't know whether it is allowing now or not, but 6 months back it allowed. When I have done that, it allowed and the registration is cancelled.
If there is some input credit is there in some clients, they are not doing this 6 months, 9 months back, they stopped doing the business, but there is input. So now when we apply for cancellation, all the input will be foregone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, again, the only question is what happened to the stock on which the input has been claimed. If that is sold, then why this input is left? Because there are many cases, many reasons why the input is being accumulated. Because one example will be SEZ supply. Means when I'm doing SEZ supply, when I purchase, I'll get input. But when I'm doing a supply to SEZ unit, I need not pay. So almost that, then my input will be accumulated. So if that means that the reason is that, fine. But otherwise, why the input is left? That is what is a question generally we have to ask. We have to answer ourselves.
One more query, sir. One partnership firm is there. They have bought 3 dumper trucks, and it's exclusively put in the carriage of the sand, transportation of sand and earth materials.
Okay.
Okay. For 2 years, they have run the business and they took the input credit. Now there is a credit of about 15 lakhs of credit is there. Now they are not doing any business. The firm is into losses, no revenue, nothing. And they sold the trucks.
Okay.
Okay. The ITC is lying in the books. And they want to dissolve the firm. So if we dissolve, all the liability will go, the ITC will go off, or how it is like?
Actually speaking, whenever the trucks are sold,
yeah,
I have to reverse the input tax credit of the means there is a 5-year period there, which is said in the rule. Okay. So if I'm selling it within 5 years, for the unused portion, means unused quarters, okay, I have to calculate the proportionate credit and I have to reverse.
Okay.
That rule is there. So if that is done, there will be no input actually.
Actually, to the extent of running the business, the ITC has been taken. To the extent they raised invoices, to the extent ITC has been claimed.
Yes, but whenever the capital good on which input tax is taken and it is being sold within 5 years, then this rule applies and I have to check what are the unused quarters. Means
unused, okay. I mean, since the last date of the usage.
For example, it is used for 3 years.
Yeah.
And there are 2 years left. That means 8 quarters left.
Yeah.
So that 8 quarters, I have to calculate the proportionate credit. Out of total 60 means 60 months, means 15 quarters. Again, 8 quarters are not used. So 8 out of 15, I have to cancel, I have to reverse the input tax credit.
We have reversed input ITC. Okay.
So even after that, if it is left, it will lapse. That's all.
If we don't reverse and we close the GSTN,
again, that is a lapse of one rule.
No, if we don't reverse and surrender the GST, apply for cancellation.
Now, actually, now department is very keen before cancellation of registration. They are asking why, means they are almost doing the audit then, means at least the basic 1 3B reconciliation, 2B 3B reconciliation, and also why the input tax credit is laid, means why is it unused or why is it lying in the ledger. They are questioning it. After that only they are cancelling the registration. So at least then, if the officer is aware of this rule, he has to, again he will question that. Why have you not done it?
Alternatively, is there any possibility of transferring the ITC also along with the vehicle? The subsequent way, no, the first buyer only will get the credit. In the subsequent sale, when the vehicle is sold, he will
again I can issue a GST invoice, right? On the used vehicle also.
That can be done, right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So that he can take the credit.
Yes.
Some questions are there in chat box, sir.
Okay. Bharti Garu, can you show the process of generating e-invoice? That's what I said. There are user manuals that are, because I don't have an registration now, as of now, active means on the e-invoice. Means I generally don't generate e-invoice. So unless I have a registration, means unless I have a login, valid user ID and password, I cannot log in also. But we have a screenshots of each screen in the user manuals. That you can get it in the e-invoice 1.gst.gov.in. You can get that.
Unless
second question,
unless it is mandatory go into 3B, this may be tedious.
Yeah. Yeah, that is already done, right, Madhav? Because once the data is automatically downloaded in one, the same number is already being downloaded or means appearing in 3B. We are the people who are changing it if we want to. That's what I said, that once all the B2B invoices, B2C invoices are also captured by invoice, That is what is going to happen. And one more, how to revoke GST license which was cancelled for not filing of returns for more than a year. No, GST license cancelled can be revoked only within 90 days of cancellation. After that, it cannot be revoked. Like after that, I have to I have to take a new registration only, but I cannot revoke that GST license. They have given some time during last year, I think January 21 or so, but means then they have given time or extension that you can revoke the GST registration within, means if it is more than 90 days also, means from 1st of July to this date, if there is anything, you can revoke it. But before revoking, I have to file all that returns and then I can revoke. Means there's almost like a scheme type which has come during almost lockdown period, where the late fee is given concession, and also this revocation also is possible even after filing, even after 90 days. But now it is not possible. The system is calculating the 90 days from the date of cancellation, and it is not allowing us. If you want to really revoke that registration, again, there should be a genuine reason. Means I have received a notice, I've replied it, even then he cancelled it, then I can file an appeal. I can file an appeal against that order of revocation or order of cancellation of registration, and then I can get it revoked. But that is a timely affair, because once I file an appeal, it might not, means it may take some time for processing. So, but once that 90 days time limit is known, I have to go for a new registration only. Because the problem there will be, if there is any input in that GST number, is lost.
Sir, can you throw some light on the best judgment assessment?
Best judgment assessment in GST. The same things are nothing new, or the same thing as of income tax only. Here, what they're doing is, if they have some, now they have almost 4 financial years data, or even now 5th financial year, means minus 3 months, April, May, June of 17, minus 3 months, that much data is already there with them. So during that period, means they may say, during the last 9 months, this is your turnover. So this is the turnover which we are assessing to the best judgment of us, that this should be your turnover. Since you did not file the returns, means they cannot do the best judgment simply unless 3A is given, and after 3A they have to then they can go for best judgment. Unless all the other options are gone, best judgment cannot be done. Because this best judgment, I have a story behind it. In October 2017, I received a best judgment order of one client. I was surprised actually, because they have received a 3A. We have replied to that 3A that return is filed, and even they have received 3A after filing their 3B. Though it is after due date, 20th is the due date, they have filed on 24th. But they have received 3A notice on 28th, after 4 days of filing the return, saying you did not file. And every day they received a call saying you did not file. And then I've replied it through mail, through post, and also we personally went to the office and have given 3 replies for the same notice. And I am surprised, in 1 month after, on 28th of October, they have received a best judgment assessment saying last 3 months or 4 months your turnover is this, and this month you did not file the return, this is the tax which we assess, pay. I was like, why, means how the officer can pass a best judgment order for which return is filed, reply is submitted. I've written a big reply to the show cause notice, and I went there. And the officer was like, when I told the name of the client, she said, sir, I received 3 responses from you. Means actually she was happy that she received 3 responses from someone, but 3 responses are from the same person. later she came to know that 3 responses are from the same person, and she was like, that's why she remembered the name. That officer remembered the name. And then I said, then why, madam? Why did you give that best judgment? She was said, sir, sorry. Then I understood the pittiness of them. They don't have a live data. Means then when I'm talking of October 2017, I don't know how is it now, but then they don't have any live data. They will receive a dump from a GST portal that these people did not file. That might be a date of means status as on the date of the dump. That date is also not known, and they will issue after receiving it the same format and only the names. Sometimes even GST numbers are also not being changed. Only name is being changed, and they are sending mails. So it is taking some 4 days time. So by the time they might have already filed it, and they don't know that unless they receive one more dump from the GST portal after a month, they don't. If they don't know and if they don't have the data, they should keep quiet, or otherwise they should at least keep track of the replies. They did not do that. And she was like, sorry, sir, I have actually said to our officer to keep a red mark on that. Means no need to call and no need to give any notice for that. But again, they received it. So best judgment assessment also can be done within 1 month also, unless if you don't file a 3B. The simple thing, they may say, last year, this period, this is your turnover, so do this. Or for the last 6 months, average turnover is this. Whatever they like, they can do. Best judgment of the officer. But again, you need not pay on that basis. Then you can say, no, this is not my turnover, this is my turnover, and this is what is my sale register, purchase register and all, and I can show that. Because now purchases and all, now it is almost like my purchases on which my ITC is fixed by the department, means on 13th of every month. So whatever is there in my 2B, that is only allowed to be availed. So that 2B is already there with me. The only thing is sales register only is what they have to correct. Or simply they can say, these are the purchases you are making. So this is the sale value that might be there. And so you have to pay this much tax. And that will come. That will come in the near future for sure.
Thank you, sir. Sir, members, any other clarifications you need?
You have one more question. Last question, sir. One question.
Yes, sir. Yes.
No. Yeah, మేబీ మీ ఆన్సర్ చేసారు, నేను మిస్ అయ్యాను. ఒకసారి మనం క్యాన్సిల్ చేసిన తర్వాత దాన్ని మళ్ళీ రివోక్ చేసుకోవచ్చు జిఎస్టీ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్.
మనం క్యాన్సిల్ చేసిన తర్వాత నో.
We have applied for due to stoppage of the business, discontinuation of the business for some health reasons or whatever grounds, we have surrendered the GSTN. Okay, after some time, the client wants to revoke. Is there a possible to revoke?
No, he has to get a fresh registration only.
Registration only. Okay, and that trade name will change. I mean,
trade name can be the same.
Can be the same, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Trade name can be the same.
I mean, means that he has to have another email ID. It looks like.
Not required. The same mail ID, same mobile number also will work.
Mobile number you can do.
Yeah. No problem.
There is no question of revocation. It's only new application.
New application.
New registration. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Once you start registration, once you register, means initially we will give that GST number, mail ID, mobile number, and then a temporary registration number will generate. Even before the temporary registration number is generated, we will get a warning. We will get a box that another registration it has existed and it is cancelled. Again, do you want to proceed? Even then you want to proceed. Then you can say proceed. And the new registration will come, but it will be like not 1Z, it will be 2Z.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much, sir. For within a short time, you are very kind enough to accept our invitation, and you have deliberated very thoroughly, excellently well. Now I request our Secretary of the branch, CA Anil Banpal Garu, to say proposed vote of thanks.
Good evening, Vinay. Good evening, dear members. The honorable duty of proposing the vote of thanks becomes almost more delightful when we have speakers like Vinay.
Sir, Anirban, sound is not there.
Voice is too low, sir. Anirban garu.
Low.
Let me give me a second.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Now it's audible.
Thank you. So as I was saying, the honorable responsibility of proposing vote of thanks becomes more delightful when we have speakers like CA Vinay Gandhi garu. Not just because of the kind of knowledge and subject he has and what he shares with us. It is also because of the fact that he is a person so known to us that the members are absolutely do not have any hesitance in discussing issues and getting clarifications beyond the topic on discussion. It is my pleasure to thank C. Vinay Gandhi garu for his lucid presentation, for having given us an update on the sequence of changes in the law, the processes of invoicing, the importance of IRNs and the e-way bills. And although he's also discussed with us the department version of the advantages, probably I think this is also going forward in the direction of a blockchain technology where the information of your sales and purchases are going to be shared on a common platform with the statutory authorities and the bankers, and we'll have to look forward as to how this will take shape. So on behalf of the managing committee of Visakhapatnam branch and all the members, it is my pleasure to thank C.A. Vinay Gandhi garu for his presentation, for having accepted our request and having made his presentation in this webinar. Thank you very much, sir. We would love to have you again and again. And if we are fortunate enough to conduct physical sessions, we would also love to see you and meet you in person. Thank you so much, Vinay garu. Dear members, just to give you a quick update on the upcoming programs of the branch. As you all know, that 8th March happens to be the Women's Day, and the branch has proposed to celebrate the Women's Day by way of seminars and certain events, which is specially aimed at towards the chartered accountants and members, women members of our branch. There will be certain topics that will be taken up by CA K. Jayashree garu and CA AVS Lalita Sundari garu, a past chairman of the branch. And the event is proposed to begin at 5 p.m. We request the presence of all the chartered accountants on the Women's Day, as well as to encourage any other women chartered accountants and members who are working in your offices. We also have another webinar on 9th of March. The webinar will be on Caro 2020, and the speaker for the topic would be Guru Prasad, KCS Guru Prasad from Ravan Kumar, and the session would be held on webinar. With these few words, I would like to conclude the vote of thanks and handing over it. I would like to hand it over to the chairman, Vasudemurthy garu.
Thank you, Anirban garu. Once again, thank you, Vinay Gandhi garu. Excellent presentation, excellent.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anirban Pal.
Not only the e-invoicing, you have clarified all the doubts of our members, including my doubts also. Thanks a lot. So I request all the members to send lady chartered accountants in your office, or students of lady students are there. So please depute them, because for lady students, these games are conducting from 2:30 to 4:30, I think so. So please depute your lady students on the day. And also all the women chartered accountants are requested to participate in this Women's Day celebrations. And I request you once again, and take it that this is a personal invitation. This we already sent the mail. But however, this is a personal invitation from my side also, because it is wonderful. It will, if you all participate it will be a grand success. So I request you, all lady women chartered accountants, so kindly participate and make it grand success. Thank you, women chartered accountants. Thanks a lot. Okay, Vinay Gandhi garu, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Andy.